aka the Don, like Julio. Always hold it down, I'm like an anchor on that yacht boat. I can tell if she about to bounce when the fun's low. I keep her for the fun though, I never give her no though. What you heard? Yeah, we got it. Watch it boil and we in the field, 10 toes down.
Thank you guys. We are here again with C2F Concept of Fashion. I'm your guy, Aaron Gomes. Gomes with an S. We got the beautiful and lovely.
It's your girl, Danny. How you doing? I know you missed me. Okay.
Now, you may be looking at these faces over here like, I recognize that face. That guy looks familiar. You're not wrong. You're right. This does look familiar. We actually did an interview with him about a year ago now. Stealth, guys. When you're looking him up, StealthR. That R silent, though, so don't get it twisted.
And over here we got Tino XXX. Hey. Not just double, we got the triple, you know.
Chip.
Big shit.
Big shit.
Now this is exciting, guys, because the last time that you've seen this interview happen, it was via Zoom. So this is our first live, in-person interview to be able to say, man, you got bars.
Man, he made it back again.
You got bars. We're here for this.
We had to come for the in-person visit. I was absent for the Zoom, so you guys see me now.
It's good to have you now.
You know?
Now we kind of, we touched up a little bit with what got you started, where you kind of see your vision going. So I don't want to give people the same old stuff that we've already talked about. I'm curious about a few different things right now. One, I want to know kind of what have you been doing during this whole time, to prepare yourself so that now that we're opening up again, now that you can do things again, how are you prepared? How are you ready?
I've been building my catalog. Me and Tino have just been going in. He's incredible at making things from scratch as far as the beat goes, as far as the graphics go, and we'll just kind of brainstorm, and I've just been cataloging, creating a bigger catalog, so there's just hopefully at some point no end to the content that someone could just dive in and be like, whoa, there's a lot of stuff.
Scoop, scoop, scoop. They suffer from intimidation when knuckling up in the coop. Yeah, we got the juice, the truth. Only.
Yeah.
So cataloging, I would say personally, building up the songs, the visuals, just focusing on making things as interesting as possible, keep people sucked in.
Yeah.
So to say.
Now, as an artist myself, I know that when you're creating this stuff, you can fall in love with a certain project that you're working on. And I'm curious, what's been a project that you've worked on that's you would say is your favorite or your most fun that you've had making in this past year?
It's got to be the XXX Mafia project.
Still. Y'all better act right or get attacked by a dog with a bad bite. I do not ask why they watch while I get my cash right.
That was when me and Tino we've been putting our heads together for a while, but coming out as an individual entity, we ain't never done before. We don't really group up like that with people, but we had this sound that kind of meshed, and we did a skit for one called Noisy Neighbors, where I'll be bumping music next door, he'll come over, and we'll, in between the door frames, start rapping at each other, and that was entertaining. And
hey, what's going on, motherfuckers? Hey, I'm kicking. Hold up. I want to kick it with my team. Yeah.
Just a lot of different topics kind of developed from that.
Yeah.
And it was our energies kind of fused together.
That's cool. I feel like that shows a lot of personality between the both of you guys too, and the type of relationship you guys have, and how you incorporate it in the music.
And I wanted to paint that picture right there. That's what I wanted.
We have fun in the studio. We're laughing all the time. So.
Yeah, that's what it's about,
relax,
though. Yeah. Hell yeah.
That's something too. Like I feel, when you're watching a video, if you're interested in right in that first 30-20 seconds.
Right.
And when you have your personality come through, that's what's really capturing the people. Yeah, you got a good beat, you got a nice hook and everything. That's cool. That will keep people's attention a little bit. But if you don't have the personality, you're not going to keep their attention.
Exactly.
And I feel like you guys have that, and that's something special that you don't find in all artists. So definitely keep going with that. That's really cool.
I feel like we feed off each other too, kind of. And it's like, I'm the type that I can't really plan something. If it's going down and it's happening, it comes off organically. It just looks better.
Smoother.
Yeah, smoother.
More natural. Which is how we are in the studio.
Okay.
And on stage too.
Yeah.
How do you how do you kind of keep track of what you got going on? Like I see you have a visionary board going on up here.
Definitely that whiteboard helps a lot because we'll, I mean, I'll speak for myself as an artist, we'll come up with a lot of ideas and like this has a hook but no verses yet, or this is literally one verse that we got to find the hook for it, or maybe sometimes it's just a beat with a few words. So we'll jot them down and we'll revisit them because sometimes you got to let your ears rest, you know, and when you come back to it, you'd be like one night, this was super hot, and then you end up making something else which is like, ends up taking over your focus a little bit more, and then next thing you know there's like 4 or 5 songs that you were about to do and put out, but there's really 3 or 4 newer ones that trump those, and yeah, it's a process. So I like to write them down so I don't forget about those ideas that are there, because you might come back a few months later and revive one. My manager put an EpiPen into the song called Attitude, and it was not going to make the cut, and then she came through and she said, what is this? And we brought it back to life, ended up making the
because when you put things at rest for a minute, you can kind of get back with the fresh head,
right.
with the,
I see
the
why
new
I like
into
this.
the old a little bit,
Right. Come back like, why did I do this? And play it like, this is why I did this.
Literally.
Fire, yeah.
For real.
Let's finish this.
That's what's up. How do you stay true to yourself? Like, throughout the years, how many years have you been?
Well, I'd say I've been writing for about 10 years, seriously pursuing it, going on 7 years. I'd say it really picks up your confidence when you start doing some performances. You see people that you don't know, like bobbing their head to it and like vibing with it. And you already have a feeling you're good, but then the confirmations from people's feedback, or just even when they don't say nothing, but you just see this crowd rocking with you, it bumps you up, and you chase that feeling.
That's cool.
That's what I would say.
Just listening to music, different genres of music, and going, yo, this is fire. I want to make something like this, but with my own twist.
Yeah.
So
that's important.
it always keeps me going no matter what. New music comes out, well, that was cool. Could probably do something a little bit tighter, so let me go in the studio. That always keeps me.
So do you
in my
dip
own
into
zone.
different genres when you're out here making all these beats and stuff like that? Because that's important, you know?
Yeah, I feel like you have to.
They think it's strictly like
There's no
rap or
one genre
hip hop
anymore,
or whatever it is, but it really comes from all over.
Everything is blended nowadays. So you have to kind of know what sound, what this would do to this person, with this frequency, with this.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So definitely for sure.
Did you always want to be kind of like the producer? Or?
Yeah. So Pharrell is one of my biggest inspirations.
Okay.
Him being able to make music,
Yeah.
match that music with his outfit.
That his outfit, I was just gonna say, he's
Like,
always
so
fly.
it all comes into one.
Yeah,
Always.
it does. Cause he got the look.
Yeah.
And
Talented. It's true. It's true.
It
The
goes all
talent.
together.
So, question, just so I can clear this up, would you say that you guys are a group together?
Yeah, XXX Mafia is a group.
Okay.
That's
And-
Tino XXX and StealthR coming together. We're still Tino XXX and StealthR as separate entities.
Yes.
But XXX Mafia is when those two auras come together to create something new.
I understand.
What's that cartoon when they had like the transformer looking machines, but they get together and become Voltron?
Oh.
Same thing. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Comment down below what that
If you know what that is.
Yeah.
One of you guys know.
It might be a little bit too old for me.
So my question with that then is, especially in this industry, it's hard. It's really hard working with another person. It's really hard to be in a group. It's really hard to break out in a group. So how do you guys, one, work with each other?
Yeah, keep the peace.
Keep the peace with each other, if that's even a problem at all, or if it's not. I'm curious. And then two, how do you guys? Well, actually, I was gonna ask, how do you guys keep that flow, that momentum going? But it kind of seems like you build and go off of each other. So that question is kind of answered. You did answer that question. But I'm curious how you guys interact with each other in this group, in this setting, when you guys are performing, when you guys are rehearsing, when you guys are, touring, whatever you guys are doing. What's that dynamic?
I mean, as far as friction goes, I don't really see us, for some reason, I've never had friction with this gentleman. Like, it was always, mutual grounds. Where are we trying to go? What are we trying to do? And then as far as inspiration goes, I mean, we find our own ways to get inspired. You know, I might come home one day and he's mid-beat. And I'll come home and be, what is this? And then he's been working on it. I was like, wait, and I'll sit down and get inspired. The whole day I was uninspired till I got home. Or, but that's I'd say, kind of we work with each other.
Yeah. Trust. Knowing that I can trust him to come crazy ass verse.
Yeah.
Just off the fly like that, right?
Right.
And so he trusts me to come with some dope ass sounds to match that. So that's one thing. Open mind, have an open mind. You might have an idea. Alright, let's try that. I'm not having that either. Let's try it. There's no like boundaries, like structure, like all right, we have to do this. We gotta sound like this. We gotta do that. That kind of.
In fact,
Yeah.
we try to break that structure.
Yeah.
So the energy just flows.
Do you ever get in there and sometimes you're like, okay, you may be working on this beat and you're like, man, this beat is fire. I can't wait to show this to him. And then you come home and you're like,
You're not feeling it?
I ain't feeling that beat. Like,
I can feel it.
that's,
Working with him for so
He
long, I'll
knows-
play
he
it, and
knows
then he's
what I
like, all right, he'll write a little something, and he'll stop. Like, all right, yeah, that's cool.
Yeah.
all right. So let me change the beat up real quick because he's not that. I can see what he's
There's been
inspired.
times
Okay,
where there
okay.
might have been something too smooth for me, and I've just been like, I don't think I can portray me on this. And I'll be honest with them, but that rarely happens. It's,
Yeah.
When it does, I just switch it up. I'm more aggressive.
now we got like a harder
so that's
808.
cool. So you're at that level now that you've just been working with each other long enough that you kind of know. You know
guys
what
have
each
a
other
good
expects.
balance. You guys got a good balance. Yeah, that's dope. What kind of advice would you give to any like aspiring rappers coming up, or any musicians or artists in that nature? Saying even coming up with a friend and stuff like that, just how to stay on track.
I mean, you know, a lot of artists, I mean, again, I'll speak for myself, we are our own hardest critic. Personally,
Yep.
I'm a perfectionist, so when you're hard on yourself like that, I mean, it's good to be hard on yourself, because you're chiseling that rock, you know, make it better and better all the time. But I'd say I take grains of salt from everywhere, you know? Some people are like, that was garbage, bro. And I'll be like, all right, take a grain of salt from that.
Yeah.
Dude, that was the hottest shit I've ever heard. Okay, two completely different people are
There
saying
you
something
go.
else. And I just, after that, just try to develop and just keep pushing. And it's a marathon and not a sprint. That's what I do.
Okay.
I
It's
kinda
a
stick to that.
marathon.
Believing in yourself, for sure.
That's
Yeah.
fact, yeah.
Yeah. And believing in whoever you're working with. Believe in them 100%.
Mm.
Because you might have a friend that's like, yo, oh boy, I'm not really rocking with that.
Trying to knock the belief.
All right, that's cool. But I know this is dope. You know what I'm saying?
Uh-huh.
So I'm gonna keep rocking
Yeah.
and we're gonna make it.
That's important
That
to
is.
keep in mind. Like, everybody has a different ear. Everybody has a different sense of style. So
Absolutely.
stay true to yourself.
I think that's really cool. Hopefully you guys are really taking some nuggets out of these people and out of these conversations, because it goes a long way. And not only are you know, you're helping people that want to do a similar path to you by just doing it. You know, you're being an example, but you're also giving us feedback right now. What would you offer as feedback to people in terms of what's been your biggest struggle in this industry so far? Let's start with you.
All right. I got a whole list. Y'all ready?
We get
Got
your
some
pen and
popcorn.
paper. Yeah.
Biggest struggle is weaving out like the fake, fraudulent, like scam and scammy, weird people, sketchy people. There's a lot of that in this industry. So just trying to like detect that and stay away from that. Keep everything solid and pure. That's one of them.
Repeat the question one more time.
Yeah. What's been your biggest struggle in the industry so far?
Biggest struggle. Battling with my own head, because there'll be times where I'm like, I'll write something and it'll be based off something that I know that other people have found cool, like you have your influences and whatnot. But then I'll be like, I'll come back at it and I'll be like, is this too cliche? Is this like, these bars are really cool, but is it like, has this been done too many times? Is this original enough? Is this, again, with the whole perfectionist thing, I think my biggest struggle would probably be worrying too much about what it is I'm doing as opposed to just doing it, if that makes sense.
Yeah, you're your own worst enemy.
Exactly. And then there's so many situations where I'm just like, bro, relax, it's tight. You know, it's just, I don't know, you have to reminding yourself that and just staying on track. And to be honest, aside from that, it's a day job. You know, going in and sticking with it, and then everyone's got to go back, plug into the matrix, you know, and then make the money that you make, and then come back and still focus on your craft without being too tired from being plugged in the matrix. And that would probably be another big one.
That's a really good one, actually, because that's something that everyone has to do.
A lot of people get stuck in their bread and butter job, and it's just a matter of not allowing that to suck you in and being like, I should just do F&I for the rest of my life. That's great. Anyone that is doing F&I, you're making great money, that's cool. But if you have that pursuit, something you love, allow that to fuel it as opposed to take it over. That'd be like the long answer to that question.
There you go.
Yeah.
You got it.
So let's talk to the man outside of the music for a second, okay? Music is not what you're doing right now. That's your passion. You can love that, but that ain't what you're doing.
Whoa.
What is it gonna be? Where do you see yourself?
Nothing. I'm joking.
Nothing. It's all we
what am
know
I-
over here.
Graphic art for sure.
Graphic art?
Graphic art and
Okay.
Oh, tight. Okay.
Yeah.
These are
Designing.
things too, you know, because you're a musician, you're working towards that, and I have no doubt in my mind that you're gonna get to that point, you know, where you're up there, you're making music, you're a name now, and these are gonna be these little points that people want to know about you. They want to learn little things about you, and I feel like that's a really good one, you know, because they're gonna see you as the musician always, but who's the man outside of the music?
Yeah, art, designing, graphic art, video editing a little bit, and just the visual stuff. I love visuals. So.
Okay.
For me, it's actually like sales, marketing. I'm a salesman. You know, I'm able to. Sales has taught me how to sell my product, sell myself, sell my company, sell what it is that, who I am, what I am, how I do it, and that's always been a big thing. If I see personally, I've always been artistically drawn, just in general, but I was high school dropout, got my GED, but if I were to ever go to college, I'd probably take one class of psychology, one class of business. That's it.
Psychology?
Psychology and business.
Yeah.
Those two things fascinate me right alongside the music.
Yeah.
But,
Okay.
So,
That's pretty cool.
sales.
And that, are you doing that right now? Is that your, like, you
Yeah.
know,
Yeah.
we'll call it?
I have been doing sales for 6 years, from everything from 6 years ago when I was selling solar panels to selling cars to selling whatever it is that will fill up my pocketbook to pay for studio time, to pay for what it is that I really love doing. You know?
To
Yeah, I
invest in
feel
the
you.
music,
Right.
I
as
feel
you
you.
should. It's
Exactly.
all about the bigger picture, you know.
Right, exactly.
What are the red eyes about? What's going on?
The red eyes,
Yeah, I had to ask. I gotta know.
We had a fun video, one of the first ones I did called Strange, and what it was me and my boys were just playing kind of some 2K, and that homie looks at me and he's like, bro, what's up with your eyes? And it was this psychedelic looking view, this fisheye lens. I'm like, what do you mean? And I'll go into the bathroom, I'll check, my eyes are going from blue going to red, and what it is basically I know I've got a monster in me, and that monster is the one that comes out with the harmonies and the lyrics and then this and that, and basically the red also represents the R for stealth, R, real eyes, realize, realize, recognize. There's a lot of different, it's a variable too, just like the triple X's is an X is a variable, R is a variable. It also shouts out to the streets. There's when someone is hitting up and their name is Venom and they don't roll with the crew, they're Venomer. They put an R at the end, and so it kind of has a lot of double, triple, quadruple meanings. But, and the red eyes are a way to keep. I used to be just black, white, and gray, so I had an older head tell me you should throw a color in the mix. People resonate with color. I was like, what color would that be? And it was red. You know, so I wear it on stage with the red accents, and it kind of gives a little more impact.
It's a little bold, gives
Yeah.
you a little something.
So,
Do you have something that you roll by, like some type of motto or alter ego that you put into your work?
Yeah. When I'm Tino XXX, the triple X could be for like super extreme.
Okay.
You know what I mean? So my lyrics may say some extreme stuff, whether it's a joking matter or a serious matter. That's just my artistic side. So it's pretty much
we're bringing that positive connotation to one that generally has a so-called negative connotation. Like normally triple X would represent booze or porn or this and that, but we got heavy, dirty bass. You know, we've got explicit lyrics. We got so triple X
flipping that negative to
has
positive.
that flipping that negative into the positive.
Hey, that's respect.
Yeah.
What kind of style do you guys really put, like, do you go for a certain style or just anything that you roll with is what you go with?
I've always kind of gone based on my ear, but I did find a fascination in single syllable delivery or the chopper style, which is that tell them what I gotta tell them when I do it like I do. Semi-automatic when I hit them with the static. But I'm not more about the speed than I am about the clarity. I like to come in with some metaphors and then hit them with some quickness, and it just helps switch things up. So that's kind of something I fell in love with, is that quicker style, the accuracy, I guess. That's me. Yeah.
I'm a chameleon, so I take bits and pieces.
He is though.
Yeah, hey, I always say that's my spirit animal.
Yeah.
And the hooks are like effortless for him. Choruses, hooks, just being, it's like effortless.
Yeah,
for him.
yeah,
I've learned a lot
mentioned
of
that. So, were you like an artist before you were a
Producer?
Yeah.
Yeah. So, backstory. My stepdad was in the Navy, so I lived in the East Coast, the bottom of Texas, the Midwest.
Okay.
So I took different styles. So that low-key went into my music music
For
that
sure.
I liked. So I might be on the West Coast, be rapping like I'm from Texas a little bit.
But it's the influence. That's you. That's you.
And add some 808s from down south, and add some snare from the East Coast.
I
that
love
kind of
that.
blends and makes it on. So
Yeah.
it's a little bit of everything.
Yeah.
I guess I'd say I'd have like a big Midwest influence. I listen to a
Yeah.
lot of Bone Thugs and Harmony, Twista, a lot of Tech Nine, a lot of that's, and then that brought back into this 808s that have been going from popping out of Atlanta, out of LA, out of that whole bass sound mixed with it.
My
goes
dad's
really
from
well.
Chicago, my real dad.
Yeah.
So me hearing him talk like Twista, my ears
Yeah.
said, "Whoa, hold on." And so we just put our house together.
That's what's up. Y'all got it going on over here for sure.
Appreciate
I think it's cool the vibe that you guys bring, individually to this XXX group. I think that's really interesting. It's a dynamic that you don't see too often, and it's a dynamic that you've seen before, because I kind of grew up, my music taste is more in the 90s, if I'm gonna be honest. Like that I feel like is the last like good music.
Yep.
As far as like rhythm, meaning, all of it. Now they're putting out music, but it's a different vibe. It's just a different audience now.
Yeah.
And a lot of the times what I notice is when people are out there as artists today, popularity wise, the ones that you're listening to on the radio, the ones that you're seeing in their music videos, the music is so much more influenced by just the beat alone. It's not so much like, all right, I got this story to tell and I gotta like share my experience from me traveling wherever I've been and my experience here and put it out there. It's kind of like, and maybe you guys feel differently, and I'd love to hear your points on this, but this is kind of how I'm looking at it right now.
You gotta shout out Atlanta for that,
You know?
because they're running the sound of hip hop overall. The 808s, the heavy 808s, certain melodies. So Atlanta got that for sure.
Yeah.
It's taught me a lot too. I mean, I've always been so intricate with the stuff that I write, but it did teach me too that a lot of the time, even 75% or more of the time, people are not listening to every word that's on the song. So even when you're starting a conversation with someone, you want that music guest to have the lyrical content, but also that when no one is listening, that it still keeps their head bobbing, and it has that bounciness, the catchiness in order to... So, and there would be cats that literally almost say absolutely nothing on the track, and maybe a few words you do resonate with, and even still, those are hits because the melody, the cadence, the just overall feel of the song, where it keeps stuff bumping, keeps stuff going. And so I've tried to find a nice balance between the two. When people do tune in, there's something to listen to, but when they tone out and they're starting a conversation, something that still keeps their heads bobbing.
Something for everybody.
Yeah. Yeah, it's definitely a lot of stuff to learn.
I mean, the internet is wide open, so you got so many people making music now. You're gonna get all kind of different stuff.
Yeah.
So that might change the direction of music drastically.
You guys are pretty down to earth though. Like, I'm curious. So, are you guys spiritual at all?
I would say so.
What are the
personally.
Zodiac signs? What's your Zodiac sign?
Yeah, I was curious.
I know.
What's
Yeah,
your
you
birthday?
Yeah.
What's your
December 22nd?
He's a Capricorn.
He's a Capricorn. Yeah.
No, wait,
I'm a
I've
Taurus.
read that. I'm
Yeah,
a-
oh, so,
Yeah.
okay, he's a
What's
Taurus.
What's
He
a
has
dash?
he's
We have a
repping,
dash.
y'all.
Yeah,
He's
two
repping.
words for-
I have Taurus written down right here. And
Oh, it's like from your... Well, it's not two horoscopes. Essentially...
Oh, you have a sun sign. You have a sun sign, a moon sign, and a rising. But basically, all it tells you, it's just how the stars and the moon were aligned when you were born.
Yeah.
and it helps shape.
On who you are. I feel like you're a little close-minded if you don't think that
I like the
affects you in some
foundational
way.
stuff.
You know what I mean?
Mhm.
It's
And
not all, you know.
Yeah, I say two things kind of shape who you become personally. One of them is the second moment you're born, where all the energies were at, and then also
Okay.
after that, everything that you go through also kind of shapes that on top of it.
Yeah.
But there's definitely,
I
in my
couldn't agree
opinion,
more.
a major
Yeah.
foundation based on your.
Yeah.
astrological-
You know what? Certain women won't date you if you're like a
certain sign. Or
Yeah.
something.
Oh no, you a Capricorn.
No,
I
it's
can't
true.
do that.
You don't know me.
That right there will
crazy.
drive a lot of people away from it. You
It's
know,
true.
because a lot of people categorize you based on just that. But
But
it's
that
also-
says a lot about them, not you.
That's
so,
true, too.
at the end of the
True.
day, if they're asking the question, they take you for, oh, no, never
Yeah, I'm
mind.
automatically
Like,
disqualified. I can't
yeah.
you don't even want to get to know me. Like,
Yeah.
Yeah, they're not with it like that.
it's funny.
That's interesting. I kind of want to touch a little bit on that. You say you're spiritual, and I'm curious in what sense. Like, what does that mean to you?
I mean, when it comes to spirituality, personally, I have experienced and explored different mind states in different ways. And I have pondered a lot with a lot of other smart individuals who've helped me elaborate on those topics, and it's just kind of come to a point where there has to be something of more higher frequency and understanding than us ourselves. Whatever you want to label it, a sage, a god, a source, a frequency, whatever it is. But every person around the world at some point or some region or religion has come to the common term that there is something higher, you know,
of a higher power.
And us just being sentient in general, being able to question, our own existence, or I could even just go like this. It had nothing to do with my survival, but I was able to because I chose to. Like, that's the godly stuff right there. A frog jumps around and like eats things because it has to. It's like, as opposed to making like choices and stuff. It's just, it tells me that there's something else going on.
Yeah. We were talking about that too, because that's one of the greatest things about being an artist is you can take all of those experiences and make something beautiful out of it. All that pain, all that hurt, all that tragedy, and literally make art.
Oh, people make their best music when they go through a heartbreak
Listen,
or something
all you
crazy
fans
going
don't be mad at
on.
me, but Mary J. Blige was never the same when she got her life together. Her music was never the same when she got her life together. Okay? Don't hate me, but I'm just being real.
Hey, that is brother's observation. But when she was in pain back then,
that music was popping.
Yo, when you're hurt, it comes from a different place. You know?
The funny thing too was I was on the note of being careful what you wish for. Me and my wife, I was told her once, why don't you just like cheat on me or something so I can have my heart broken so I got something to write about, right? Stupid, because next thing you know, you kind of got what you wished for, and she didn't do anything, but my dog runs out in the street and I see some horrific stuff go down. Oh, well, there's your pain you asked for.
You put it out there.
And it came to me in a different form. So I'm good at manifesting things, but sometimes we accidentally manifest things.
You can go wrong.
Yeah, you got to be real specific when you're asking for things.
But definitely taught me about overconfidence, about recklessness, about, because he was just running out there like, I got you, Dad. No, I'm going to check this dog out real quick. Enough said.
Also, like, how he integrated himself with music. I mean.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I raised this dog around. His name was Helix.
Right?
Super smart. I mean, you could tell him, say, I love you, and he'll activate his voice, like, and then he'll go, arr, arr. So, aside from that, he would be sitting in the studio all the time, seeing us freestyle, seeing us write.
Over there.
And
right here, like, I'm a studio rat, so he's always like right here.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
There was and the sleep are just like watching it.
He rap. I mean, we call him the rap dog, right? Is that right? He rapped.
There was a video where
filmed it.
We had a beat going and we kind of stopped rapping and he just started rah 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 rah. We all looked at him and we're like, what? This one's got bars, and he
okay, you gotta see that.
He went from laying down to standing up.
And we're gonna insert the clip
He said, hold
right
up.
here, right now.
Yeah.
But no. What? Yeah. Bars. Yeah, I mean them bars killing when you get it dark, get it hard. Doggy, got the bars. Yeah, alright, he about to spit it, y'all. Say it, buddy, let it go.
Whoa.
Damn. Yeah. Damn, bro, those bars, bro. High five. Good boy, that was good.
I hope you enjoyed that because he got. Tell me he don't got bars.
Rest in peace to the pleb.
Yes.
Rest in
Helix.
peace to the pleb.
Yeah, I'll play that song.
So, is there any fun facts that you guys want to like just say about yourself, or anything that you guys been wanting to get out there?
If y'all got some spicy food I haven't tried, let me get at that. No, yeah, I love spicy food. I'm sorry.
You got any Ethiopian places out here?
I
You gotta go to
check
LA
out.
for
Bomb.
that. You gotta go to LA for that.
Yeah.
There's just spicy bomb food.
Yeah.
I got you.
So I like different levels of spicy. The comfortable ones where your mouth just kind of burns a little, and then if I'm prepared for it, I'll go for some crazy like spicy stuff. Like there's some ramen noodles that have like this black packaging that my wife, she's Filipino, she'd be pulling home like stuff from the Asian market, and I tried these noodles that just burned my mouth up. But it was just so nice.
It was just so good.
I'm just crying, but my sinuses are
that.
getting cleaned out.
My
I'm open.
sinuses.
I'm open to the food.
You know, fun fact, I hate spicy food.
We're exact opposites. Right?
That's the balance.
That's the
Right.
balance.
Come on,
That's
y'all.
true. That's true.
That's funny.
So what's the game plan? Moving forward with you guys. Do you want to continue to make music as a group, or do you want to eventually split off and work individual from each other? What's your vision?
We were doing that before, so there's gonna be a lot of both goals.
Just kind of back and forth.
Same.
Would you guys add anybody to the mix?
So actually, that's the thing about the XXX Mafia. So there's the XXX, right? So the two of those X's is me and Tino. The third X is left as a variable.
Oh, I was thinking mom over here.
Yeah, exactly.
I was thinking mom.
That's that third X.
Yeah.
That third X, you can plug whatever it is in. You could plug in the manager. You could plug in a sound artist. You could plug in a graphic designer or an animator. You could plug in, like with Soul the Reject on Attitude, a singer. You could plug in anybody in that third X, and it'll just help change the formula. But in the end of the day, XXX Mafia is me and him. And that third X, whoever you slot in there, will somehow change the formula and the project that it becomes something else.
So we left room to grow.
Right.
Exactly.
Exactly.
I like that.
The third X is open.
So we can cut this out. But what's good, God Almighty? We have an album coming out on October 3rd. I'm interested.
What is Good God Almighty?
What's good, God Almighty, guys? It's on the visionary board. It's on the visionary board. I had to ask. Spill the beans. I need to know what's going on. This would be the perfect time to,
Well, after
promote something. We want to hear a little unheard, unseen.
Since you don't know that,
Well, yeah, I do. I would like to hear that. I know that after XXX Mafia, we're doing a 2.0 called XXX Mafia Swim with the Fishes. And then right next to that, we've got other ideas and projects, but I mean...
that was like an EP, some content to give out for Halloween. You know what I mean? For the month of October.
So I should be looking forward to something within this next month.
Exactamundo.
Yeah,
Which means you guys can also look forward for something
tune
too.
in this month in October.
We have to the soil, he can't rock with you.